Hello, everybody. It's me, Rabbi Eli again. Do you remember last time I made a video for you and showed you how to make a shofar on Rosh Hashanah? That's right. Now we have another Yom Tov to do. Can you guess? I'll give you a hint. That's right, Hanukkah. Now, what is Hanukkah? What is the message we learn from the story of Hanukkah? We get to light the menorah. That's right. Now, we have all kinds of different menorahs that we have, right? We have menorahs made out of silver. We have menorahs made out of dreidels. We have menorahs made out of screws. We have menorahs made out of plated silver. And we also have menorahs made out of tin. Look at that. All different types of menorahs, and they're all kosher to use for Hanukkah. Now, these are all menorahs meant for to light candles, which is very well great to use for the mitzvah commandment for Hanukkah. But more traditionally, on Hanukkah, we go and we buy a special oil to use. And most of your tatis or grandpas and zaydis, they like to use the traditional ways in lighting the menorah, made with oil, right? Now let me tell you, the story of Hanukkah brings us back many years ago. This goes back by the Second Temple, the Beit HaMikdash, when it was in Jerusalem. In Yerushalayim, the Yidden, the Jews, would pray and they davened, they prayed, they did offerings, karbanas, and all kinds of cool stuff. And all of a sudden, there was a mighty Greek general. His name was, anybody remember? It was Alexander the Great. And he came and he wanted to conquer the world. And he started marching up to Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. He gets closer to the gates and he sees the Yidden, the Jews, are different than the other nations. They're together, they're praying nicely, they do the offerings, and this sounds interesting. I'm going to conquer this place just a little bit differently than the rest of the world. So he decided to camp out in Jerusalem. And this story goes back over 22,000 years ago. It's before I was born. Before your moms and tatis were born. And Bubbies and Zaydis, grandpa, grandma, many years ago. And for many years, Alexander the Great lived with the Jews in Jerusalem until he passed on, and a new Greek general, a new Greek king came. His name was Antiochus. That's right. Don't ask me how to spell it, because it's a Greek name. And I didn't learn Greek language, not just yet. But Antiochus said, nah. We're going to change the way the Jews are doing their stuff. We're going to take away their privileges. We're not going to let them come into the temple and light the menorah. We're not going to let them keep the Shabbat. We're not going to let them light their candles on Friday night for Shabbat, or eat kosher, or yet give a brit milah for a newborn baby after 8 days old. They weren't allowed. So what did the Jews do? They had to do them, right? Because God gave us a commandment that we have to do. So the Jews moved out of Jerusalem into the mountains of Judea. And over there, they practiced everything. They kind of hid away to do what they were supposed to do. And when the Greeks heard about this, they got angry. What? The Jews left to do the Judaism outside? They came storming in and knocking on the door in the mountains, and they said, we caught you learning your Torah. We caught you doing your Shabbat. And what did they do? They had scouts out there, and they saw the Greeks coming, and were very smart at this. So they quickly hid the scrolls, and they took out the dreidels, and they started playing dreidel, right? Playing dreidel, and the Greeks came in, and they see, Who told us this information that you guys were learning the Torah? And he says, no, we're just playing dreidel. You want to come play with us? And then they said, this doesn't sound good. So they left. For many, many months, they've done this until we all know the story of the Maccabees. Not the Maccabee team that played at the JCC basketball. We're talking about the Maccabees, big mighty Maccabees. You have the father was Matisyahu, and he had his 5 sons, Yehuda, Judah. You have Elazar, you have Yonatan, you have Yochanan, and Shimon. All these great warriors stood up and said, Me, Chamocha, Be'elim Hashem. It stands for, whoever is with God, come fight with me. And then they started gathering together, starting to take back Yerushalayim, Jerusalem. That's our hometown. And then they started going, and the very miraculous thing that happened, there weren't so many Jews at the time. We're talking about the mighty Hellenist Greek army. It's like humongous, bigger than anything you could ever imagine. And they had different regions and different generals and camps. How could the Jews fight and win the war? But they had faith in God, in Hashem, like we always do. They prayed, they fasted, and they prepared to fight, to war. And they started coming to Jerusalem, and they got close, and all of a sudden, the Greeks started coming to fight, and slowly but surely, the Greeks started running away. They were afraid. And Judah took his bow and arrow, went pshoo, and Elazar took his sword, and he went sha, and it was a great battle. And lo and behold, the Jews won the battle. They won. Miraculously, they're victorious. Yippee! All the Greeks ran away. And the Jews came into the temple. And they looked around and said, oh my gosh. The temple, it's ruined. The menorah was on the floor. Those Legos in the corner that wasn't cleaned up. There were blocks that was a mess. And they even put a non-kosher animal on the altar. A pig. Oh my God, how could they do that? And right away they said, we have to clean this up. We have to rededicate the temple, the Beit HaMikdash, for God, for Hashem. So immediately the Jews got together and they started cleaning up. They put the Legos on one side and the blocks on the other side. The magnet tiles they stacked up and everything else. They had to make it clean and nice and dust off all the webs and everything that wasn't used for many, many, many long days. And then it was time to light the menorah. They picked up the menorah, and the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, walked up the 3 steps, and he started to light the menorah. But there was one problem. There was no oil. How could you light the menorah with no oil? Yes, they could have used candles, but the mitzvah to light the menorah was for oil in the Beit HaMikdash. So right away they searched until all of a sudden someone looked really, really hard, and they found one small jug of oil. Miraculously, they found oil. Look at this. Olive oil. They came running in, and the Kohen Gadol examined the bottle. Let me see. But one of the things the Greeks did, they were very smart. They would break the seal off every jar of oil to make the oil impure. Said, we could open this oil and light the menorah. And they did. They lit the menorah. They made the blessing. They sang songs. And they went to sleep. So exhausted from all those fighting. Sometimes when you're playing with your friends, you get tired. They went to sleep. They woke up the next day. They went to the temple. The menorah was still lit. Oh my gosh. And then there came a 3rd day. The menorah was still lit. Someone playing tricks on us. 8 days. Listen, boys and girls, 8 days. The menorah stayed lit the whole time. 8 days and nights until New oil was prepared and made from northern Israel and brought back in to relight the menorah. Another miracle. The menorah lasted for 8 days and nights, when it's only supposed to last for 1 day. And now I'm going to show you how we make olive oil. Okay? So first we're going to get olives, just like these. Very, very special olives that we can pick out. Of course, you can't pick it up here in Pittsburgh because it's so cold outside, but these were from Israel, actually. Eretz Yisrael or California. And the warmer climate is where you can get good olives. We're going to take it out and we're going to put it in a very, very special bag. It's called a sock bag. Don't tell anybody, okay? We're going to take it up so we don't want the olives to hip out of the machine. And once we get it all together, when we put the olives into this press, no, right, if we would have had grapes, we could make grape juice. I know, but we can make olives for olive oil. Put it together, and I'm going to put it in this press and build it up. Then we're going to squeeze the olives. When the olives come out, the olive oil comes out, you're going to tell me if you see it coming out, because I can't see. I'm far back here. You have a better view right there, right? You're going to help me to let me know when it comes out. How do we say olive oil, pure olive oil in Hebrew? Do you know? Shemen Zayis Zach, right? Pure olive oil. Remember that. I'm going to quiz you soon. Okay, let's start the process. So, we're going to gather all these olives together. Don't tell my mommy, I took this from her laundry room. Setting this up. Okay, got my special tools over here. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Now, I'm going to take this out and put it into this press all around so it goes inside. Okay? Now, we're going to, this is the mill that we put in the bottom, so it helps support. Back in the day, they would have a mule. You know what a mule is? It's a donkey. And with a donkey, they'll put all the olives in this little center thing, in a center place, and they'll have a bunch of olives in a little pit like this, a bigger one, with a big stone in the middle. And the donkey would push, walk around, and it was very strong, and he would crush the olives that way. But we don't have room and time to bring in a mule, so we're going to do it this way instead. Do you know how to play blocks? Me too. I learned how to play blocks. So we're going to build up this press just like this. One here, one there, one here, and one here. Whoops. See what happens when you play the blocks? They can fall sometimes. Okay. And now we are ready to turn the olive press. All right. Let's see here. Remember what I said? What happens when you see olive oil? You say what? Shemen Zayis Zach, right? Ooh, I'm so excited. I can have my own olive oil for Hanukkah. Mom, are you excited? Making you olive oil. You don't have to go shopping anymore. Yeah, I know she's happy. No more sales. Just buy olives. Okay. Ooh, the harder it is, the tighter it gets. I wish Judah Maccabee was here. He could do this. Oh, it's getting harder and stronger, and I can't do it anymore. Oh, you gewalt. Where are my helpers? They're what? My helpers didn't come? I gewalt. See what happens? I'm going to call off tomorrow. Oh, look at this. I think we got olive oil. What do we say? Shemen Zayis Zach. That's correct. Let's do one more spin, and we can get a gimel. That's only the drill game, right? Oh, look at this. See coming out. And look at that. You can look at that? Whoa. That's a lot. It's coming out of everywhere. Look at this. Ooh. That's That's a lot. Look at that. Look how much oil we made. That is so beautiful and nice. Smells like olive oil. This olive oil is not yet ready to eat because there's some things in it that we have to filter. So what are we going to do is we're going to use a test tube. I actually got this from my doctor this morning. He let me borrow them. Don't tell him. We're going to pour the oil into the test tube. Okay, just like this. There we go. Now that I have all the test tubes inside this machine is called a centrifuge. Okay? What it does is spins very, 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 very fast. What it does is that in the oil that we have, it's all mixed in with the oil, olive oil. We have oil juice, and we have the sediment inside the wax. We don't want to eat that kind of stuff. Okay? So what this does is it spins faster than the fastest dreidel. Okay? Now we're going to press this button here, and it's going to spin fast, fast, fast. Okay? While it spins, let's see some dreidel songs. Okay? I have a little dreidel. I made it out of plastic. When it's dry and ready, it's going to spin fantastic. Oh no? I have a little dreidel. I made it out of glass. When it's dry and ready, it's going to spin really fast. Whoa! I have a little dreidel. I made it out of wood. And when it's dry and ready, it's going to spin really good. Oh. Okay. Now, for the moment that we've been waiting for. So excited. Spins very fast. I don't want to hurt my fingers over here. Okay. Test tube number 1. You see that? We have a lot of juice. In the middle, we have the wax. At the edge, we have the olive oil. See all that? That is the oil that we're going to use. Okay? Let's see another one. Look at that. You see? A little more oil in this test tube. Let's see another one. There's another one. Also, we got oil in there. Look at that. Ooh. I should go into, I'm in the wrong business over here. I should be making olive oil, huh? This one. And we got this one. Ooh, nice and shiny olive oil. This you could use for your salad. That's right. You see that? The separation between the juice, you have the wax in the middle, that's called the sediment inside of the olives, or the outside of the olives that they sprayed with. And you have the olive oil. Now with this olive oil, how do you actually make a wick burn? What is that they do? So I don't know if you notice, your moms and tatis, they will go to Giant Eagle, buy a bag like this, okay, full of cotton balls. Why is Grandpa buying bags of cotton balls every Hanukkah? What is this? Tell you what, the cotton balls, they'll tear off a piece, and then go like this. See that? I kind of split it, okay? All those grandpas out there, let me know if I'm doing it right, okay? And then going to kind of roll it back and forth. Don't try this at home without an adult supervision. And look at that. We got a wick. Now with this wick, we're going to rub it back and forth. And there we go. That's a wick. That's how they used to use wicks back in the old times, even in today's times. Let's do one and another one here. Okay? Should we try to use our oil we made today to light the menorah? I think that would be a great idea. Now we're going to use the oil that we have. We're going to pour it into the shamash, which is the helper, right? And then we'll pour it into the first candle of the menorah. Okay? Now, ooh, this is going to be fun. Now we need to have the wick to be submerged in oil. Okay? It's a little too tall. Take a piece off. Dip it back inside. like kind of with your hands. Yes, your hands will get oily. That's part of the thing of lighting the menorah. And then we put it into the altar. Now, who could tell me how we set the menorah up? How do we do it? We set them up from right to left. And we always light the newest candle first. So we light them from left to right. You know the song? Ner Rishon, Ner Sheni, Ner Shelishi, Ner Revi'i, Ner Chamishi, Ner Shishi, Ner Shvi'i, Ner Shemini. Okay, I think that's pretty much it that we need. Make sure that we have it lit. Okay, now we're going to light the menorah. Let's pretend it's Hanukkah. So we make how many blessings the first night? 1, 2, and 3. 3 blessings. Okay? I'm going to say it and you could kind of sing along with me. We'll do a sing along, right? Okay. Baruch atah Adoshem Elokeinu melech haolam Asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Chanukah. Baruch atah Adoshem Elokeinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avoteinu bayamim hahem bizman hazeh. Now for the first neck, make Shechayanu. Baruch atah Adoshem Elokeinu melech haolam shehechiyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Okay, light the menorah. Oh, and it's lit. Bravo, we did it. We made the oil light the menorah. Oh, I know you know this song. Oh, Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll dance in the horror. Gather around the table, I'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with, and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of the days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of the days long ago. Now, the story of Hanukkah is we all say, Happy Hanukkah. We want to be a happy time in the time of year. We go outside and we show everybody the miracle of Persuma Nisa, of lighting the menorah. Some light it by the window, some light it in the house opposite the mezuzah, some light it in the streets. And guess what? We also have public menorah lightings outside. And once again, my name is Rabbi Eli from Bnai Emunoh Chabad with the living legacy with the olive oil presentation. So happy Hanukkah, everybody.